In this short video, I'm going to talk about Kevin Samuels and the haters. The Kevin Samuels haters and whatnot, and black men in general, and how it has literally reached a point to where, I'm going to just say this. If I were an intelligent 23-year-old, I wouldn't want and if I had kids, I would probably try to have them by a non-black woman. And I wouldn't want my kids to reproduce with black people. And that includes most black men. And I say that as a black man. Black men at this point are just about worthless. I hate to say it, but they just are. Black men aren't trying to collectively come together and accomplish anything. And that was something that I was looking at. Everybody thinks that this is about Kevin Samuels. It's not about Kevin Samuels. Let me explain to you the real reason. And I know that a lot of people will look at this as reaching, but a lot of people that are smart will know that I'm not reaching. If you look all throughout history, you see a consistent pattern with black men. It's just a consistent pattern of black men who attack other black men. They always come after black men. And look at the recent killing of the president in Haiti. Who did that? It was a black man. Haiti had another revolutionary after Toussaint Louverture. This was it was in like the late 1800s. I forgot his name, but he's a great hero in Haitian history. Almost a myth, a legend. He was killed by a black Haitian male. Malcolm X. The list goes on. Every time that a black man makes a spot for himself, or becomes popular, or leads a movement, or just becomes somebody who is in the spotlight, he immediately gets attacked by other black men. And this to me is because of matriarchal culture. Matriarchies sexually deprive their men. So the entire black male complex is that of a sexually deprived male. And many other races of men actually know this about black men, which is why they're very, very, very cautious around black men. They're very cautious, and they don't like their women and daughters being around black men because they're depraved. You're not getting a healthy amount of sex from your own women. If you don't have at least 2/3 to 75% of your adult males, let's say in America, in Western society, if you don't have at least 2/3 to 75% of your adult males, specifically between the ages of about 23 to 27, married, then what are these males doing? What are they doing? Like sexually, what are they doing? It becomes kind of like a man who's going to eat by begging for every meal. You're not guaranteed that life is going to be kind and that people are going to look out for you like that. It's almost like a dog. It's almost like being a stray dog. You don't know where your next meal is going to come from. But, a person who is, a dog, better yet, who is taken care of by a good owner, he knows he's going to eat a couple times. There's times, especially when it comes to cats, you can throw it some food and it won't even eat it. Because he's sure, that cat is like a married man from another culture. He knows where the sex is going to come from. He knows where the companionship is going to come from. But with black men, that's not a guarantee. So there's an entire sexually depraved complex. It's a whole culture. And it's really worldwide. Like in Jamaica, it's a little known fact. 95% of Jamaicans in the last 2 years, what few Jamaicans that have been born on the island of Jamaica were born out of wedlock. Look, we just don't get married. Black women are not women that think about marriage. When 95% of your children are born out of wedlock, they make American women damn near look chaste. What do you say? For the sake of God, give me a break. It's going to be nothing but chaos. And what each man has is this overly depraved homo worry. I don't call it homophobia. It's homo worry. It's this assumption that the next man has caved in to the matriarchal sexual depravity and that he may be fooling with other guys. And that what it does is that it makes black men hyper-analyze and super look at each other for any form or any trace of a slightly effeminate behavior. It's absolutely annoying. It's annoying. And to be honest with you, a lot of men are actually gay. A lot of the men that are like men who pretend to actually not be and to hyper-analyze and always try to denote how another guy sounds, to look at every single motion, every single little movement, always eyeballing up and down another man, trying to check for man, that shit is annoying. And that shit is a cultural aspect of blackness that I do not care for at all. It's annoying. It is utterly and completely annoying. It's putrid. It's a form of socially putrid behavior. And so this attacking of Kevin Samuels, I'm telling you, it's because of matriarchal sexual socio depravity. That is why this guy is constantly attacked. It's not because anybody knows that he's gay or whatever. There was a Zoom call and he literally explained it, you know, and somebody went back and did an actual replay of it. And technically he's in a Zoom call with a guy that went to bed in his own house, not Kevin's house, but in his own house. The man went to bed and left the, kind of like a bunch of these racist teachers. And sometimes you even get politicians and other people who they used to call it the hot mic back in the day when a person was on a show or something and the microphone hadn't been cut off or the camera hadn't been fully cut off and they kept on talking. And despite how they decently presented themselves, you would catch people saying some of everything. So in this, particular case with Kevin Samuels, as I, seen it, and as one guy did it, and as Kevin explained to DJ Vlad himself, essentially you're looking at a guy that went to bed on a Zoom call and he left his camera on. And everybody just jumped all over this. And black males are like the only ones that do this. You'll notice. And black men are stupid to the point that they don't notice that they do it. And many black men criticize this female YouTuber by the name of Cynthia G because the reality is I've concluded that many of these men, not all of them, but many of these men just want to be Cynthia G. Like, Kid Organic. I'll just call out one of them. Technically, you're doing the same thing she does. If you look at Kid Organic's channel right now, it's nothing but a bunch of attacking black men and attacking the so-called manosphere. And you've literally had black men since 2007 or 8, with the rise of Tommy Sotomayor in around about 2008, 2009, who've been just on black women's asses for over a decade. And then they discover and come across the king of criticizing, analyzing, and whipping these black women in a goddamn psychological circle. And you would think that this guy would be the king of the manosphere. Instead, he's attacked left, right, back, and forth by, you guessed it, black males who have a history, an absolute history. I mean, if you go, with the exception of maybe MLK, and a lot of people say, if you remember, Dick Gregory said that Jesse Jackson strangled Martin Luther King. That Martin Luther King wasn't actually dead. He was hit, but he wasn't dead. But because Jesse wanted that attention, he strangled him. And a lot of people believe that these dark-skinned dudes was jealous of Detroit Red, a.k.a. Malcolm X. Because, Malcolm was committed to Betty Shabazz. He wasn't, if you've seen the movie, you remember there's a part where the CIA or the FBI guys was, phone tapping Malcolm. And they said, compared to King, this guy's a monk. In other words, Martin Luther King used to get his freak on with a lot of women. But Malcolm X was really settled. But a lot of guys got jealous. They probably got jealous over the women in the mosque and whatnot who wanted him, who was willing to be his extra wife before she be your number one. So I'm going to honestly say that 55 to 65% of the reason why Malcolm X was killed had to do with jealousy and the fact that just like you see when leaders are killed, like with the leader, the president of Haiti, I ain't gonna say he was any good, but there's always willing black males who are just willing to attack and kill another black man who's in the spotlight, that's being looked at and who's getting accolades. I mean, it's just a hopeless, helpless situation. Black men are just pathetic. If you look at it, I mean, we really are. It's pathetic. And it's kind of like this. Why not go forward with what you believe? Why not be proud of your subscription base? I've looked at channel after channel, man. And I go through these channels and you know how you have people such as Afro Singali and what's that guy, Lennon Honor, who have a 100% dedication to attacking Umar Johnson. I mean, you would think that Lennon Honor, this dude got to be being paid. This guy got 4, 5, and 6 hour videos sitting up talking about another man. Like, I can barely scratch this video for 15 to 30 minutes. How big of an effeminate gossiping bitch do you have to be to sit up for 3, 4, and 5 hours, rotating your neck and snapping your finger talking about another male? And I just go to a lot of channels and I notice that there are dudes who these dudes have 100% of their videos are literally talking about other YouTubers, specifically Kevin Samuels, Tariq Nasheed. And, it's kind of like this when it comes to anybody. People have brains and people have minds. People can look into whatever individual they decide to listen to. They can analyze and decide for themselves if they want to buy into whatever. If a motherfucker want to build a museum in the middle of LA, Crenshaw or whatever, let that nigga build it. Is it bothering you? Does the money come out of your pocket? Is Tariq Nasheed going to the local government of Los Angeles and demanding that you pay 2% of your paycheck to his museum? Is Tariq Nasheed lining up gang members somewhere in LA and beating the shit out of people for the Hidden History Museum? Is he doing that? No. Tariq Nasheed asked, will you pay? Or do you want to help me build a museum? Now, is this something that's going to benefit him in the long run? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. As usual, Yeah, it's going to benefit him in the long run. He's going to make a grip off of this, man. Because he's going to be able to charge people, even if it's just a little admission to get in, just a little something. And if that museum is going to be there, it's going to be there permanently. So long after the people have contributed to it, because it's kind of like this. The people that invest in Tariq Nasheed, those people just don't know about business and finance and investing. Like, you shouldn't give somebody $50 for a movie and then pay $30 for it. No, I just help you invest in the movie. You can give me back a small return on my investment, And, if you don't mind, send me a copy for free. You know what I'm saying? But they will help him do that. Look, that's their business, man. At this point, it's people's business what they decide to do with their money, bro. You can't stop another motherfucker from supporting another nigga, giving somebody money or whatever. Move forward with whatever it is you believe in, man. Because and here's another thing, and I'm gonna go ahead and shut it down with this. Something that I can't stand is, like I say, dudes that sit around all day and talk about other men and dudes who are part of shit who try to act like they're not part of it. Like motherfuckers who try to talk about the so-called manosphere all day and try to act like that they are such eagles that are hovering above it, but yet 100% of their videos ain't nothing but manosphere shit. Like, whatever you think of it, dude, you the same thing as the men that are in it. If your channel, look at my channel. I ain't even got many people sub to this shit. Man, I got a diversity of content. I mean, look through all my videos. And, you know, go ahead and subscribe to your boy. But I got a diversity of content, man. I ain't just focused on another dude or manosphere shit. There's a lot of dudes try to act like they anti-manosphere, but that's the only thing they hover around all day. Nigga, you the same goddamn incel MGTOW motherfucker. Just admit it, nigga. It is what it is, bruh. But, shout out to Kevin, man. Shout out to Kevin, bruh. And keep doing your goddamn thing, man. Because these dudes that is hating, these dudes just wish they was in your position. And many of them was doing the same thing that you doing right now. They just wasn't doing as good as you doing it, bruh. I know he probably ain't gonna never see this video, but it is what it is, man. Y'all niggas stop being bitches. Okay? But unfortunately, I think that it's gonna end up being like the white comedian Ron White said, you can't fix stupid. Shadow man. I'm out.